Can Jake Browning keep it going? Mike Petraglia inside Paycor Stadium. A critical mid-December game for the 6-6 Cincinnati Bengals. They take on the 7-5 red-hot Indianapolis Colts, led by quarterback Gardner Minshew. Minshew has led the Colts on a 4-game winning streak. They right now are in one of the final AFC wildcard spots if we project towards the end of the season. Of course, the Bengals, they are coming off one of their best wins of the season, 34-31 in overtime on Monday night in Jacksonville, a divisional rival, of course, in the AFC South of these Indianapolis Colts. The story on Monday night was Jake Browning. The story today is, can he keep it going? Monday night, he was 32 of 37, the fifth most accurate passing performance in Bengal franchise history, 354 yards, the 76-yard bomb to Jamar Chase for a touchdown in the third quarter. He ran in one. He did not turn the ball over. Really, pretty much a perfect game for the quarterback who is replacing Joe Burrow. Now, can Jake Browning do it against this Indianapolis cover 3 defense that is led by defensive coordinator Gus Bradley? He of the Legion of Boom back in the early 2010s. Of course, that Seattle defense, one of the best the recent NFL has seen. And certainly this defense for the Colts, very aggressive in the words of Zach Taylor. They change things up. They'll be all over the field. That is something Jake Browning has to be prepared for. In talking with him this week, certainly he seems like he has the comportment, the poise to handle anything that is thrown at him, and that's a good sign for the Bengals going forward. On the outside, we mentioned Gardner Minshew, the quarterback who replaced Anthony Richardson early in the season. He has 2 receivers that you've got to keep an eye on. Michael Pittman Jr., he is 4th in the NFL in receptions with 87. That's one more than Cincinnati's Jamar Chase. And so Michael Pittman Jr., who caught the game winner in overtime in Tennessee last weekend, Bengals will have to keep an eye on him. And, of course, former Cincinnati Bearcats star Alec Pierce on the outside. He's got lots of speed, and he actually set up the game-winning touchdown last week in overtime for the Colts. So Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr., those are 2 guys that the Bengals have to keep their eyes on. DJ Turner, of course, is starting in this game as Cam Taylor-Britt went on the injured reserve last week. So it'll be obviously DJ Turner and Chido Awuzie. He has really played back-to-back games where he's played all the way to the end, based out of necessity, of course, given what has happened to Cam Taylor-Britt. Bengals want to make sure they keep all hands on deck in this secondary. And if you're worried about the running game, Zach Moss, he is the backup running back with Jonathan Taylor out today. So Zach Moss is somebody keep an eye on as well. But Colts did not run the ball very well last week at all. 19 carries for Zach Moss, only 51 yards. That could be something that is in the Bengals' favor. The Jaguars did not run the ball well on Monday night, and that certainly helped the Bengals' defensive cause. Can the Bengals defense stand up and step up to the challenge today? Bengals need to have a consistent effort, 60 minutes against a team that is ahead of them in the AFC standings. The opportunity is there this week for the Bengals to make some hay and really put themselves in good position as they make a final playoff push without Joe Burrow. Today it's the Colts. Saturday at 1 o'clock here in Paycor, it's the Minnesota Vikings. And then on Christmas Eve, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. But first things first, Bengals need to take care of business here inside Paycor Stadium against a team that's ahead of them in the AFC standings. As for the weather, you see it behind me. It's pretty much going to be like this all day long, cloudy. We're expecting temperatures right around 40 degrees for the 1 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. No precipitation is really forecast for this game. The wind will be 5 to 10 miles an hour, so it shouldn't be too much of a factor in this contest. Of course, it can always change, so be sure to tune in to CLNS Cincy and follow me on Twitter for any updates with regard to the weather. My Twitter handle, of course, @Trags, Trags. Off the field news on Saturday, it was confirmed that the Bengals did not violate any rules with regard to the injury report right before Joe Burrow suffered his season-ending wrist injury in Baltimore. And there was some speculation that the Bengals tried to hide Burrow's wrist injury or any pre-existing condition. The NFL found that was not the case on Saturday. That news came out. So that's good news off the field for the Bengals. Of course, there was really no, sources telling me, no problem with the Bengals, or ever was any problem with the Bengals reporting to the league. That was never going to be the issue, but the NFL, because of the way the story unfolded, had to look into it. They did, and that is what they found on Saturday. Well, it'll be an interesting day of football here inside Paycor Stadium. Can the Bengals step up to the challenge and put together a consistent 60-minute effort? That's what it's going to take to beat these Indianapolis Colts. Again, we'll have you covered all day long on Twitter at Trags, Trags. And as always, subscribe to my YouTube channel for locker room and press conference reaction afterwards, youtube.com/@JungleRoarPod. Inside Paycor Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.